It is a beautiful morning here, and we want to do everything we can to protect our fields behind us, as they're going to be, pivotal to making a living here. Protecting our homestead is essential if we're serious about growing food here. We're putting a lot of effort in raising crops, livestock, bees, worms, and soil. All of these efforts aren't going to yield results if we can't protect the land from predators. Fencing is a huge expense in both time and money, but needed if we're going to make the homestead profitable. So some of the things that we got for protecting the homestead, if we take a look here, we have the solar fence, Energizer, the lithium one, different types of spools that we're going to be trying out, some different kind of electric fence holders, some lights, spinning jennies, that kind of stuff. So we're testing out a bunch of things, doing some reviews on stuff just because we wanna, and trying to set up the fence for both livestock and to protect the garden. So on the back side of the north end of the property, we have some tree line. So we're taking down a lot of the barbed wire, and we're going to try to put in the electric wire, 7-strand, and then my thought was to put on and weld up a rod. So once we get all this brush out of here, we'll take like a metal rod and weld it in there to get a high line, so we can get, realistically, if your fence line is up 8 feet, that's a better deterrent. And then multi-staggering the line to have it where there's a line on one side or the other. Deer have a very hard time with depth perception, so putting your line and staggering it confuses the deer, or makes it where they won't jump it at least. So we have a very strong herd here, and I'd say probably 10 to 20 at any given time you'll see in any given night, and it's a challenge. So our plan back here was, we got a couple acres on this side of the fence. We're going to bring up these trees and then pasture some sheep over here. We're going to be probably moving the chicken coop to be closer to the farmstead, and then we'll have our agricultural area, right behind the homestead here, which again needs protection. I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but the geese were getting ready to move north. Spring is coming. The geese are ready to get out of here. On the back side, we have probably, there's 300 acres behind here, and the cattle come up to this line, and that's the next farmer over. Got permission from him to amend these lines, and as you can see, there's trees all throughout the fence line, so we have to remove a lot of these trees and a lot of the brush. Most of your big trees are okay. So you can see here the large trees are fine. Just have to get rid of all these prickly pears and bushes and stuff that's growing up right on the line. So this is, we're clearing out a lot of these fence lines, and we're preparing to put in the electric line, as well as some fence post extenders to handle the deer situation, because we have all of our planted field is going to need to be protected, and we're going to have to do more than just barbed wire. We'll have to mend this and continue to protect what it is we're going to grow. We're going to go ahead and cut this prickly pear, or whatever this is, and get it out of here. So the Immobilized Live chainsaw 6-inch is a brushless wonder. It's great to have around the homestead. Easy to take small trees down with, limbs, and battery operated. So let's see how much battery that used. So we took down that whole pear tree. Battery's about 3/4, almost half. The 3/4 light is on a little bit. So took about half the battery to take down one tree. That's pretty respectable. So on the south side of the property, we also have quite a bit of tree cover in the back that we have to take care of. It's going to be a lot of work. And there's also another 3 acres to the south here that the neighbor owns that I'm hoping we can use somehow. It's about developing relationships with your neighbors and having a good, clear communication plan of what you plan to do. And between composting, cash cropping, doing the livestock, animal husbandry, it's just, you know, what can you do with what you have, the available time, resources, and people. It's always a challenge. I like to bite off way more than I can chew.
You don't say.
So knowing that, I'm trying to forecast and then scale back because until we have the help, and we may be able to get help through the extension, we could do some school to work programs and get some of the high schoolers in here, some of the college kids in here, maybe interns, and they can help during harvest time. We're going to be doing a lot of agritourism, hopefully, and having people come in here and learn how to homestead, see what it takes, see what the daily operations look like, to really give them a feel if this lifestyle is right for them. So behind me here is one of the trees that myself, Wes, Link, Hunter, a couple of our friends from church helped us remove. This was a bugger. I got to remove this stump yet to get back on this tree line. But the best I can tell, these fence lines haven't been utilized for crop protection for the better part of 15 years. So these have 15 years of overgrowth on the edges, and we'll chop it up and use it for mulch. We have the chipper, and we can use the logs for Hugelkultur. If they're hardwoods, we can dry them out and burn them for winter. Originally, this land was an orchard. So when we started tilling up back here, we didn't get a lot of rock. In the Ozarks, that's rare to have such usable field. So we're very fortunate that most of our land here is usable. It just needs to be amended. So whether it be for animals or for the orchard, because we want to have, you know, bamboo groves, the orchard, the vineyard, very little vineyard, the cash crops, berries, all of the stuff, you know, to provide as much as we can as a learning resource for everybody, and so that we can learn ourselves. This might not be our final homestead. We'll get something a little bit bigger once we're more developed, once we have the skill sets necessary with all the different disciplines of homesteading. And, you know, this is kind of our stepping stone. And I mean, or we might just stay here. I don't know. It's a nice neighborhood. It's got really great people around it. It's just not a super amount, you know, huge amount of land, but it just depends on what we want to do. You know, if we're going to stick with more of the crops, this might be okay. The community is really important to us, and having that network is as important as the homestead itself. Especially when you come to grid down, you know.
Be careful what you say.
I can't talk about things like that on this channel again. But that sense of that community, that network is super important. So we'll just leave it at that. My name's Ryan with Backroads Homesteading. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.